Alright. I'm just cleaning up my ingestion workflow so then that way I can present it to people. Fucking serious fly. Map out the actual shape. I just want to make sure that it actually is the shape that I wanted. In a flowchart, please. Basically, what we're doing is just cleaning up my ingestion workflow. And I just want to make sure that the shape that I want is actually... merge path blocks. Volume of curated intent. No, but it should be... But I don't want Opus because of... Yes. Opus. Re-ingest, correct. Git push, yes. Weight equals volume of curated intent, yes. For when nothing exists, you're defaulting to Sonnet. I disagree with that. I think it should be Opus for that. Run that by the Fable model, please. This is what I was looking to change here today. And then the last thing I gotta do is fucking update the... Let's add something to my to-do list to update the code writer workflow for after the code writing, everything, the testing, all this stuff passes, to then have a separate model grab the original plan and grab the intent from that, then put it into the git push context wiki. Basically have a separate model, read the plan, read what was done, update the context, the git push context wiki, and then have it also answer any of the potential intent questions through that plan. So then that way it can state why it did things. So that part of it survives.
over bitterness, forgiveness over resentment, and love over pride. To me, she represents everything that's still good in this world. In a time where people are often rushing and arguing and thinking about themselves first, she reminds me that kindness still exists. Not the loud kind that seeks recognition, but the
Show me the shape again now in a flowchart. Just modules. Don't have to give me the full explanation for every part. Just a brief, like few word description on the step. I already know it. I just need to see.
She taught me that being a good person isn't about grand gestures, it's in the small things, sharing what you
Yes,
have,
yes,
looking out
yes,
for yourself,
yes.
and listening without judgment. And that is why my grandma is my favorite person in the whole world.
Correct angle?
Okay.
If you saw me standing here ugly crying while my partner played guitar in the basement, you should hear him play that song now. Mikey. It doesn't need to.
I made it happen myself.
All right. Yes. 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 So, for the intent synth, that part, it's supposed to be reading the source, but the source can also include the git push context wiki. Markdown file. So that's part of it. So it's like the source is the file, but also the actual... fuck. Fuck. I just realized something. Oh yeah, I should probably put some music on, right? There's that whole thing. I'm just kind of listening to nothing. But I'm happy with no music. I concentrate better with no music. Well, I concentrate better with music, but it's just that this is the same exact music for weeks, and I'm like over it. I wish there was like. Let's see, royalty-free radio. In 12 hours of royalty-free route. Alright, I can fuck with that. Alright. So, the source is the file, but also the actual git push context markdown file. So it has to actually pull the intent from that too, because that will state about the intent of the changes that were made, and that can answer most of the questions that it would generate. So could that be after the intent is, like, basically the intent synth is, if the intent synth is made up and then you can go, or would it make more sense beforehand, like in the initial source ingestion? What you reckon? Because I just realized I never actually updated that. Run that by the Fable model. Brief response, please. I'm not going to read a dissertation for this. It doesn't need a dissertation worth of an answer. It's like I just need... That's like the one downside of these fucking models, is they give you like 40 billion words and you only actually need to read like 10. Yeah, I agree. We'll see what the smarter model says, though. Alright, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna grab a coffee again. Hey, where do you got back? Alright, so what if we updated the rules? Run this by the Fable model. What if we updated the rules to also include that? Because I want to be able to include that context. Because that will state so much more data that I don't need to actually answer questions about. Does that make sense? Like, if it's already a decision that was made in a plan, then I don't want to have to restate my decision over again. It makes no sense. Alright, I gotta pee. coffee and I cuddled my kitty. I always gotta do that. I gotta cuddle my baby girl. Meanwhile, I can. Yeah, but that's fine. I understand that it's the agent's summary, but that totally is fine because it's built off of my own work. So it's like it still is capturing the essence of my intention on some level. Even though it's not like 1,000% the same exact words that I'm speaking, it is still the essence of it. Like I would say it captures usually like 90% of what I meant, which is fine. It doesn't need to be like 1,000. It doesn't need to be a dissertation of my mind. You know, it's like it literally can just be that. It's fine. What do you mean notices scroll past on semi-attended pushes? What do you mean by that? Aborted push. Woof. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. We do need error handling for that. So yeah, those edits and then the haiku edits. Let me see. These. What does it think about these haiku edits? Even though they are currently not, it goes against the current rules, right? What does it think about the efficiency of this, though? Because those are the last bits that I think would definitely clean it up nicely.
These leaves like this.
It's still... I guess I'm still waiting? Did the Fable send crash? That is fucking fascinating. Oh god. I just watched a video on somebody 3D mapping color. Oh, that was cool. All right, so update the flowchart like you did beforehand, minimal words, with the pending edits. Cool. This is pretty cool. The split that happens with the read, is it happening in parallel or does it happen sequentially? For the 6 read right along part. It really doesn't like the word ride or write. Okay, can you give me a sequential flowchart of the full thing like you did before, minimal wording, all that other stuff, and the updated changes, edits that like on top of that too, in within the flowchart. Yes. Yes. Interesting. Correct. 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 I'm almost tempted. And this is per file that's being updated, correct? Yeah, 9, 10, 11 are fine. That's fine. All right. So this is one agent here. So 1 through 8 essentially is one agent. So 1 through 8, I mean 0 through 8 are one agent, correct? So 0 through 1 is one agent that is basically deciding what. 2 through 8 are the main agent, and then 9 through 10 is another agent. Bin agent, okay. Okay. So main agent is like an orchestrator. Let's say there are multiple tickets. Does main agent decide multiple like let's say it's multiple tickets worth of updates and stuff like that. Is it distributing the workload between the bin agents? It should be. Okay. Okay, let's get a separate model. Let's have Fable put together the full plan. The Fable model that did the full plan for this. Let's get it to put together the full plan. I'm okaying this, and then have a separate model or the same Fable model update the workflow, please. Okay. And then the next thing we got to do is subdivide the agents, because there's technically 2 agents here. Yeah. When it comes to the first question, when it said no threshold on multi-file, you said that there's like a loss. What is that loss? You mean in terms of efficiency? Because it's a haiku loss. It's not the worst thing in the world in relation to like being wasteful or anything like that. As long as it's still not, as long as it's not accuracy loss. That's what I'm worried about. What about just doing it with the sonnet model instead of haiku? Because the thing is, it's like having the main model do that already, as well as coordinating, as well as doing the other stuff, is heavy. I wouldn't want to saturate the model. Does that make sense? Run that by Fable real quick. And then we'll continue answering the rest of the questions.
What would color look like?
Damn it, it's a fucking dissertation. Yeah, I mean, Sonnet is a way bigger... It's a huge gain. One file. When you're talking about phase 1 agents letting them write their own file, what do you mean? Per file files, what do you mean? You're talking about like a temporary location for what they're gonna fill with? I can't remember this part. Fuck. Wow. Alright, it's going down. Really loud passed by over there? That fucked up the fucking internet for some reason. That was so weird. It's a wired connection. Oh my god, dude, these motors are so Oh my god, dude, these motors are so fucking loud. I'm so grateful to have a... Then it goes back down. I don't understand what the fuck is happening. That's so weird. It keeps restarting my... It just restarted my fucking... Oh my god damn it. Let's see. Oh, it kept it going. Let's see. No, kept it going. That's so weird. Alright, well, whatever. Let's keep going. Propose the bin engine writes those two main files itself. So can it handle that mechanical edit? I lost the connection. I gained it again. Yeah, what? The fuck is happening with my internet today? It's so annoying. Alrighty, let's get back to it. All right, so what's the next question? Let's run with that. And what's the next question? I already decided on this. All right, aborted, push staleness. Yes. I have to write this part down. Split agents, because it's technically two agents in one workflow, and I don't want that. That's what I'm trying to go through today, is basically splitting my agents up. Well, the files, essentially. Autofill notices are one line of assistant text. Your only override chance on headless. Nobody reads. I don't need to read every single push. I just need help explaining that last question, the staleness one. Autofill notices, what's the point of that? Because, fuck, dude. That is so annoying. You do not need to like accelerate that much on these roads here. It's so unnecessary. No, 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 no. I don't need to. I don't need to know, because otherwise I have to okay every single push and every single intent and every single, like, I already am gonna be jam packed with questions I'm answering for the stuff I'm already building. I don't, like, I already answered the questions. If I can't trust the model to do a mechanical copy of my intent, then what the fuck are we doing? What are the options for that one? God, dude, I love this house, and like I love my parents, and I love like living in this country out here. I love everything about it besides living on the fucking side of a road. Oh my god, dude, it gets so loud. Those fucking people, I like, it's just so dumb. Like, people just literally accelerate like so ridiculously loud, and they use this road for like just popping wheelies like the entire, like, it's so fucking annoying, dude. It's just so loud. Here he comes again. He's fucking going up and down the street, literally. He's gonna crash, and that's gonna be on him. That's an inevitability out here. Fucking motorcyclists crash like a motherfucker out here. It's so crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Alright. Why didn't 1-3A fully? Fires off that answer. So widening 3A fully would basically make it so it would auto log any of the potential worthwhile questions, like for bugs and stuff like that, as tickets without needing to ask me about it. Because then the fallback for that works, because that would be fucking great. The current fallback, yeah, that's great. Yeah, dude, in an ideal world, it would honestly just fire that as a ticket, and then if it needed to ask me about it, I already have safeties regarding writing code and asking me questions for amendments and asking me questions if it needs to. Like, there's already safeties built around that, so if it was something so huge that it would need to ask me a question, that would catch it, to be honest.
I never told you this, but I like it when you're really, really, really pale.
Okay.
And you have big, big red heart-shaped lips.
Okay. This building. All right. I don't even remember most of these. I know these. These are easy. This is one for when I have way too many tickets. There's the pipeline. There's lint. This is such a long fucking file. Repo wiki. This is the main workflow. But where is the git push workflow? Is it in here? I think this is old. Ask me the questions one at a time. What is it? And can you please summarize that? I'm not reading that all that. I'm not reading all that. That's fine. Wait a second. So the Sonnet agents would now edit my intent files directly. Are these problems coming from you, or are they coming from the Fable model? Except a 10% spot check sample. What do you mean by that? Why can't they be recovered if a merge goes wrong? What the fuck? I think we need to rework this fucking thing. To be honest, I think we need to rework it. Let's start by splitting the agents. First of all, there is a orchestrator agent, and then there is a basically like the reader slash executor of the actual stuff, right? So we need to rework this from the top, dude. It's just, it's so convoluted and old at this point. It's just like, it can be better structured. Like the entirety of that entire wiki context stuff, it has to be restructured and organized into folders, just because most of it is in one file and I need that fucking fixed before I'm gonna present this, and I need that fucking organized beforehand, just because I want it to be organized. I'm so sick and tired of not looking at that, and it works. It fucking works. It's just so much in one fucking file, and I hate it. I hate it so bad. Organized. We're gonna change the shape a little bit. We're gonna make it a couple of layers. I'm gonna add another organizer, an orchestrator. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, we need to update the shape. We're gonna update the shape of the file. Like, we're gonna basically restructure the architecture, and then we're going to split it into folders and files so it's organized. We're gonna talk about these in steps. Okay? The first step is one we're adding. It is the master orchestrator. It's going to be a Sonnet model. Its job is to gather the Git context wiki, or actually make it an Opus model. Yeah, make it an Opus model. This is actually going to fix a lot of the shit that I had, because I had it based on like projected token counts and like all this bullshit. And this is going to be cleaner. This is way cleaner. If we take a hit on the fucking tokens, it's fine. I don't mind that, to be honest. We're going to be removing the token projection, estimation, whatever the fuck. I fucking hate that. Like, I fucking hate that rule. I hate the fact that I was the one that came up with it. I dislike that rule so fucking much. So this one is going to basically look at the Git context. The Git push context. Or whatever is going to be pushed. Right? Or it could be like a prompt that has like, yeah, sí, estamos en Costa Rica. ¿De dónde está ustedes? Cantón Centero. Where's that? Yo estoy aquí en Alajuela, bueno, Naranjo. $11:06. That was 3 minutes ago. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so it could be like a prompt that has a certain amount of files to ingest. Or it could be a git push context markdown file. And basically what it's going to go through is go through that and figure out what files were edited. So it's going to basically put together a list of the files that were edited. Then it's going to hand them off to the current sub agent that is steps 0 through 1. Then after that, it is going to do the workflow from there. Does that make sense so far? Run that by a Fable model, please. Thank you. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. All that shit gone. Gone. That's what we do. That's what we do. Content